I am Binibini 3 again, Lois and Badando from Marikina City. And first of all, before anything else, I would like to share, of course, my advocacy. And I saw someone right now saying, if I can talk about my advocacy, of course, sure. My advocacy is simply about animal welfare. It's about animal welfare, and also it revolves around maltreatment, even if, because sometimes pets are treated like as if they are stray animals, in a sense that they don't have clean habitat, they are not fed well. Sometimes pet owners forget to feed them, and can you just imagine not eating at least once a day? And also, aside from comparing stray dogs with your pets, my advocacy also revolves around adopting animals, because I myself, I am also a volunteer for paws, and as a volunteer, I've seen a lot of dogs getting adopted, and that's good. I'm really proud of that. But there are still favored dogs, in which breeded dogs are much more likely to be adopted than those that are askal or matanda na, or not cute anymore. Just simply not cute anymore. So I feel bad about that, and what I want to advocate for that is that we should not pick which dogs to adopt. It should be equal, because all dogs are equal and they should be loved and cared for equally. And my favorite, there's actually this t-shirt from a animal shelter that I've also been supporting. They have this saying that no breed is my favorite kind of breed for dogs or for animals, because that's true. I have also 5 dogs, and 3 of them askal sila, and they were all those 5 are given to us, and I'm really happy for that, because I love adopting dogs and I love all kind of animals, cats or dogs, but honestly I'm more of a dog person. Also, I would like not to say my donation drive. There are 3 donation drive I support, and you could go to my Facebook page or my Instagram, because I've posted it recently, which donation drive I support. One is Potion Project. You could buy, we could support them as low as 50 pesos. They've specifically posted that in their post again. And with as low as 50 pesos, they want to raise public, and they're kind of running low on foods and for maintenance for their shelters. So please, let's help them if we can. And also Paws Philippines, kasi usually sa Paws Philippines, they have madami nagdo-donate every day. And right now, since naka-ECQ tayo, hindi nakakapunta yung usual na nagdo-donate to them. So what they do is just they transfer money. But if you don't want to transfer money to these organizations, you could visit Paws Philippines, na nagsasabi na you could all order from Pet Warehouse, because yung brand na Pet Warehouse, that's the kind of food na kinakain ng mga pets or aso and animals doon. So we could also do that if ayaw natin magbigay ng monetary payment. Also, lastly, na donation drive ko is yung Araneta City and Bilibining Pilipinas, that Together We Heal. And fortunately, naglagay na rin sila ng fruits and vegetables, hindi lang noodles, canned foods, and rice. Meron na ring fruits and vegetables, which is for me is very important, kasi that's where we get our natural vitamins and minerals, even without drinking the medicines itself. So this donation drive, for as low as 350 pesos, we could help our indigenous families in the Metro Manila to be provided with foods. And this will go on, I think, until June. So it's not too late to be heroes, and let's help our fellow citizens. And yeah, JB, if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be? I would say don't get pressured with how many friends you have, because as you grow older, your circle actually gets smaller, because as it gets smaller, it also denotes which people you trust. And it doesn't matter if you have a lot of friends or not, because what matters is how many people you could actually trust. And because I also believe quality over quantity. Chanti Altavano says, if you will be given a chance to have a speech in any assembly, what would be your foremost topic and why? I would say, aside from my advocacy, I would have to say regarding stress and depression, because I've experienced this, and I think the depressed people, they just want someone to motivate them and to hear that there is gonna be a good day for them, that it's not going to be forever sadness for them. So it's a small uplifting topic, but something that I would be giving is something that would create an impact to them. So that would be my main topic, aside from promoting my advocacy, which is animal welfare again. Desi Jurin says, are you pure Filipino? Yes, I am. A lot of people ask me if may lahi ako. I don't. Not even the slightest, I think. But I'm proud that I am full Filipino. Avi Real says, do you like to adopt aspens? Of course. That's also part of my advocacy. But even before I even knew that this is the advocacy that I was gonna do, because no, I am Miss Marikina also. I would just like to say that nung Miss Marikina ako, my advocacy, since it's also what I grew up with, was ClayGo, which is clean as you go. It just means that wherever you are, if you have trash, keep it with you first, or throw it in the nearest trash can. Do not litter, because that's also one of my pet peeves, people that litters. So yon. Also, our mayor, ang quote din niya for Marikina, he also advocates for ClayGo, as probably as to why we are also one of the cleanest city in Metro Manila, which is also to be proud of, and I'm really proud of that. Ibulsa mo ang basura mo. So it just means put your trash in your pocket if there's no trash cans nearby, and just throw it if you see one. So, wait, ang layo na dun sa question ni Abe. Yes, I like adopting aspens. Ngayon lang naman din kami nagkaroon ng may breed din na aso. But before, we had 12 dogs na lahat askal. And yung lolo ko kasi mahilig mag-adopt. So maybe that's where I got it from. So thanks, Lo. What's your favorite food? Tara, kain tayo after GCQ. Sana, I hope everything goes back to normal as soon as possible, because I will eat and I will go to anywhere my friend asks me to be after ECQ, because I've missed them all. But my favorite food would be anything. But tagal na natin pinag-usapan to. We would eat Japanese cuisine like sushi and especially sashimi. So Kamzi's Kalma Dimla. Sorry. What is the greatest lesson you learned from this crisis, and what will you do differently when this is over? I'm still debating whether what would be my final answer for this, but I have two realizations for this. Firstly, and the most important one, is to stay hygienic, because that's how you pass on infections or diseases or viruses or even bacteria. It's from bad hygiene. And since we are being taught right now to wash your hands thoroughly for 20 seconds, drink up a lot of vitamin C, and also drink water, that's probably a lesson that everyone must abide even after this quarantine, because it's very important that we don't see the importance of it because we don't get sick and it doesn't really have an impact. But now that it did, I hope we learn from it, as to not repeat history. But unfortunately, we did repeat history because we all know about Spanish flu. It's almost the same as COVID. And I hope in the future that we know better to wash our hands and stay hygienic. Secondly, and I would just like to share, is to cherish your loved ones, because we don't know who will go. We have a lot of frontliners and healthcare workers that unfortunately passed on or passed away because of this COVID, because they are in the hospital. So I hope we see the importance of too of saying what you want to say to the people you care about, and saying that you do care about them, because we don't know when they will go. So I'm also learning that myself, because I'm not really affectionate kind of person. So that's also what I'm teaching myself, to at least show them that I do appreciate them and I do care about them. So yeah. James Aaron Aga, what is the main purpose of education? School education, it would be your basic foundation of it all, of course. But for me, my definition of education would be your experiences in life. You don't get to live life perfectly. That's why you have to learn in every step you do, and in every mistake you do, you have to learn from it. But you have to first be humble about it, so you could learn about how to incorporate it to yourself and how to be better. So the main purpose of education is trying to become better than who you are, and trying to develop yourself, as to we also want to be equally competitive with our fellow citizens or our fellow people. So that's my answer to that. Also about what happened to ABS-CBN last Tuesday, and I'm expecting a question about this, because I also want to address the fact that we have a lot of commotion going on in the world and in our country, and I thought this was gonna be the last thing that the government will try to put pressure on. So I really think that they shouldn't have focused on this. There's a lot of more important things to do, and shutting down a network isn't one of the problems they should have addressed first. A lot of people, the amelioration, the line to get your amelioration, madaming buntis, madaming matatanda na nakapila sa init and nakapayong, and they only have their water with them. So just imagine falling in line, pero ang problema ng gobyerno is shutting down a network that is credible for news. So I think it wasn't truly wise that they're trying to make this the most important problem. I don't even see it as a problem. They're trying to have something of a solution for it. So there's just a lot of more problems than shutting down a network. That's just gonna be my final answer for that. And they didn't really try to give attention to what really matters. Yun po. Angelina Riz asks, who's your closest binibining candidate? Well, my closest would be number 2, Rowie, 5, Aryan, and number 33, Mercedes. She's from Cebu. Also, part of the reason why I got close to number 2 and 5 is because we're always divided into 4 groups during our activities. So that's why I always get to talk to them. Plus, number 2 is just beside me or just before me, so I don't really have a choice to talk to her. No, I'm just kidding. I love Rowie. She's really funny, and she's really a great dancer. So, also, Mercedes, I got close to her because we always stay on the stage before the activity starts, we're trying to find signals, and we're just on the stage sitting there. So that's how we became friends too. Also, Leslie from Tagum, Davao, and she's number 38. Scar Alexandra says, which of the restaurants do you think should serve only rice? Oh wait, Tokyo Tokyo already serves only rice. What restaurant do I like? Max? They have really good fried chicken though. If you were given a chance to win Miss Universe as an international ambassador, do you think speaking English should be prerequisite? Why or why not? It would be wise to, it would be convenient if the candidate or the winner already knows English, but if this certain candidate isn't really fluent in English, I don't think it should be a setback for her, because yes, English is a common knowledge for all, but she won this crown not because of how good she talks or how good she is in English. As long as she can perceive what she wants to say, that's okay. Because although yes, English is a common language, not all people has English as their native language. Like Filipinos is just a second language, and I don't think it should be a barrier to win the crown. If I may ask, why do you want to join Binibini instead of Miss Universe, and what crown are you eyeing in Binibini? First, because Miss Universe is like a shot in the dark kind of thing. Winning there is really hard, plus it's a very prestige crown too. You have to have a lot of experience, and also there's just something that I feel for Binibini. That's why I joined it even before. I've always felt something for Binibini, and it just so happened that Miss Universe broke their contract with Binibini. But yes, I joined because of Binibini, and it just so happened that Miss Universe broke from that. And what crown am I eyeing? I would have to say supranational, because I saw their posts about what they want in a candidate or in a winner, and I think I closely resemble that. They want authenticity, and they just want someone that's real. And plus, the most important part of it is that I also joined pageant because of if this could make an impact afterwards, like if my advocacy to do anything afterwards. And supranational promises that they will support your advocacy even after you are crowned, because there are still certain pageants that only last till a week after your reign, maybe something like that. But for supranational, I'm glad that they're trying to support their winner with their specific advocacies. Just imagine if we could raise up our advocacy of adopting pets, then there will be no abandoned and neglected pets anymore, because we have animal shelters, because there are still a lot of animals getting abandoned because one, they are not cute, which is for me the most selfish thing anyone could ever do to a dog. Just because your dog isn't cute anymore doesn't mean the taking care of it stage or trying to baby it stage is over. These dogs are somewhat like a responsibility. It's like a kid. You have to take care of them until their last breath. Yeah. What is your favorite TV show to binge watch? From Aviril. My favorite series would be BoJack Horseman, and I highly recommend it to everyone because it tackles real life issue, and plus not a lot of people actually also like it because of the dry humor. um, I think I love it especially because of the humor, because I totally get that show. And aside from that, I also enjoy The Big Bang Theory if I want to have a fit of laughter for that day, and if I'm feeling kind of low, I would tune into that or BoJack. Kamzi Kalma Dimla says, "What is your official number in Binibini, Lois?" I am Binibini 3. Ave says, "What book has impacted your life the most?" Clinical pharmacology. First of all, it's clinical pharmacy, Ave. Also, if not a lot knows, I am a registered pharmacist, but I work as an executive assistant at an immigration consultancy. So the book that has impacted my life would be Sidney Sheldon's If Tomorrow Comes. You could also comment down below if you have read that book. We could have a little talk about it because it's actually a really good book. I highly recommend it. It's one of the first classical books that I've read. It's about claiming justice when you're just a normal, regular civilian and not a wealthy one. Noting that this girl, this poor, well, she's not poor, just a regular person. She was trying to get justice for her father's death by going to this murderer. But this murderer is really wealthy and is a very powerful person, so she didn't get the justice even though there's a lot of evidence going around that he's the killer. So she was sent to jail because she tried to kill this person, and then while she was in jail, she was faced with the reality of imprisoned life, which is really good, right? It tackles real life situations, and then afterwards, she, after getting released from the prison, she plotted a revenge to still get back to this murderer, but in a non-violent way. So I won't spoil any more from that, but you should read that. It's a really good book. Plus, it also shows how female and women empowerment in that book. So that's why. How can you make sure that your advocacy will land across the globe with any hindrances? I don't think there's anything that will constitute to hindrance to this advocacy, because it won't really step on anyone's platform, right? It's just trying to adopt dogs and trying to make them feel safe and comfortable in their homes, in their respective homes. So this will do more good than bad, really. It's just a matter of trying to expand your reach to the people so that they will realize that they're not taking care of their animals, or they will try to adopt more non-breeded pets, right? That's very simple advocacy, because I believe that advocacy should be realistic. First, realistic, and two, doable. Because if it's not realistic and doable, people will not really act upon it. But if they could do it, if it's very simple that they could do it, then they would support your advocacy. So that's why I wanted to make it as simple as possible. And I hope people appreciate that. Desi says, "How old are you, by the way?" I am only 22. I don't know why I said only. I'm 22. My birthday was last January. Desi Jirin says also, "Wow, you are a registered pharmacist. Superb, intelligent, beautiful, full package. I think after this you can try Miss Universe. You can do it." Thank you so much. But there's still a stand, I think, for certain height requirements. I don't know if they're still super strict on that, but we'll see. But thank you so much, so much for the support. It really means a lot. Service. Joshua De Silva says, "For what in life do you feel most grateful for?" I am most grateful for the people that I can trust and the people that do believe in me, because it's so rare to have people that you can actually trust, and for people to be there with you through up and downs. And I'm really, really happy that I have, although they are few, but I'm really happy for them and bless all of these people's heart. Darlene Camille Salon says, "What can you say about the ongoing pandemic? And as a medical professional, can you give us some advice on how we can help the society in order to reduce the number of COVID-19 cases?" This brings me to, I want to share something to all of you, and I hope na the medical professional, also as binibining candidates, it is our duly obligations to be an informant to the public and as to what is done, what work work as a pharmacist right now, but I do share my knowledge on medicine. So first of all, I've posted this on my social media that you could actually check on it. It's about antibacterial resistance, and I just want to share this, that antibacterial resistance just means that if you overuse antibiotics and you get sick afterwards or in the future, these antibiotics might not work for you anymore because the bacteria in your body get immune to the antibiotics, which is actually the number one problem right now for COVID patients. There's still no specific for COVID, the virus itself, but we have adjunct therapies. And adjunct therapies means that medicines that could help at least fight or heal some of your other sickness that is actually giving about bad effects to your COVID-19, to your COVID. So I hope not a lot of people abuse antibiotics because it does you more harm than good. Also, the reason why a lot of people use antibiotics because they want a quick recovery from their sickness, but that should not be the case, especially if they only have simple cough and colds. These cough and colds are virus infections. This means that they are self-limiting. This also means that you could get healed even without medications. You could just drink a lot of water, taking a lot of vitamin C, not specifically from the medications, but also from fruit and vegetables, and also isolating yourself from others and taking plenty of rest, which you could also, again, which you could see if that's kind of still explained it on my social media. I posted it there. And yeah, aside from that, always stay at home. Although lahat tayo nangangati na, let's just pray that we do get the cure for COVID, and also let's pray for some kind of miracle that this would be over. But the most practical thing to do really is to praying for the wisdom that our researchers will have the cure already for COVID. And aside from that, I would just like to share not also to abuse vitamin C, and vitamins. Vitamin C, it is easily excretable, so don't worry about overdosing on those. But for vitamins A, B, E, be wary of the effects of it, because abusing it is also harmful for us. Maybe we won't see it and we would be but you don't if you have the right amount of vitamins in your body, because taking more than you need actually displaces the right amount of vitamins you have in your body. So be careful with using vitamins. And yeah, that's probably my answer to that question. A very long advice, but I hope you learned a little bit of information with that, and hope we incorporate it with our lives. What social stigma do I think people need to get over? Right now, I think also the most rampant one would be having to say whatever you have to say, because right now, if we have something to say about a certain topic, people get sensitive already, and we need to realize that all of us still has the right to freedom of speech, and not every issue or opinion should be debated as well, because people are still entitled to their own opinions about a certain topic. They don't need to get bashed by it. That's their own opinion. Post yours as well. You don't have to be toxic with the people around you. So I think that would be like sensitivity if it's a stigma. And Margo de Mesa asks, who do you draw inspiration from? My role model, I think it's the same as inspiration, but my role model would be, as I wrote in the Binibining website, is Halsey, because yes, she is my role model in a sense that I would just like to also touch on that, because not a lot of people appreciates her, but I admire her strength and how strong she is as a person. We don't see her struggles when she's on stage, just like a beauty queen would be. You don't know the problem she has before exiting the stage, or before exiting backstage. So that's why I can relate to Halsey, because she has a lot of misfortunes before performing, but not a single soul or person would actually have a hint that she is struggling with something. And that's why I truly admire her for that. But aside from her, I also draw inspiration from Emma Watson, and because she's already famous, but she still chooses education first, and she still wanted to finish education despite of her wealth and fame. And also Michael Jackson, because despite of allegations and accusations thrown at him, he is still a good person and still gives back to the world by having foundations and trying to help those who are sick and the children. And that's why I love them. Next question. Bobby Anastasia says, what advice would you give to your younger self? I actually answered this earlier, but to simplify it, I only said to not worry how many friends you have, as long as you have few trusted ones, because quality over quantity will always be your mantra when you get older. Next question is, how do you handle frustration? I handle frustration by listening to music. If still that doesn't work, I will call up my closest friend and run to this friend. But not all of the problem. I don't want to give the burden of it, but just, it's healthy to have human interaction. So if you have problems, and instead of trying to rebel with it or doing violent acts, try to talk to someone. It will definitely help. Okay, last na. Rachel De Ramon asks, what is a binibini? A binibini is someone that is not only prim and proper, but also a fighter. May it be internally, but as long as she can handle herself and she achieves everything she wants to achieve, and she doesn't let people belittle her, That's a binibini. That's a modern Filipina. Someone that is a fighter. I will say a Tagalog version of this afterwards, because there are some viewers that don't really know how to speak Tagalog, so I will try. Thank you so much for supporting me. You don't know how much that means to me, and having these people, seeing these people support me even though I don't know them, and they just know that they see something in me that is, I want you to remember that that will be my biggest motivation in this pageant, because I didn't join this for me. I joined it because of the people that believed in me, and because people know that I could do it. And that will be still my motivation even after this. So thank you so much for supporting me. Just a quick reminder to always stay safe and stay at home, and let's pray for the betterment of our country, and pray for the wisdom that our researchers will be able to see or to find cure for this COVID, so that we could go back to the normal lives, because we all know we miss that. We miss going to the malls, to the beach with our friends. So yun. Thank you so much again, and ito na yung Tagalog version. Woo! Char. Salamat. Thank you dun sa mga friends ko na nandyan pa rin, who are consistent in every live I do, na hindi nagsasawa, and for the people na are following me already, thank you so much. I already said it in English, so thank you again. Thank you for having me, Pageantology 101. Thank you for letting me spend an hour. I think it's an hour, but thank you for letting me spend this 1 hour with the people, so that I would be able to convey my words and my advocacy to them. And also, thank you to those who listen, because it truly it means to me that actually click on this video and stayed on it. So thank you so much. God bless us all, and yun, again, thank you. Stay safe sa lahat, and don't forget to pray. Thank you. Also, follow me on my social media if you haven't, so you will keep updated on what's happening with my life. Bye.